I'm Wanderer001, and this little box in front of me is the Roku 2 XS set-top streaming box. So let's get started with the review. I'm just going to refer to it as the Roku because Roku 2 XS is kind of a mouthful to keep saying over and over. So we'll start with the box itself here. It's made of, as you can tell, very glossy plastic black finish. The customary purple Roku cloth tag that people seem not to like. It doesn't really bother me that much. If it does bother you, you can always just snip it off. The product dimensions are 3.3 by 3.3. I mean, it is just a mini box of nothing. It takes up very little space in your entertainment center. Just to give you an idea space-wise, it's it next to a deck of cards. You can see just how small this thing is, and weighs 0.3 ounces. If we bring it closer, show you the underside of it, there is a rubber foot, so it doesn't slip around wherever you put it. Bring it a little closer. Again, you can see the front of the box has the Roku name, and over here there is an indicator light, which you can't see at the moment. Spinning it over, you can see that here is a USB port. This is so you can put media files not directly onto the Roku, but rather have a external hard drive or a flash drive with compatible media files. May they be music, video, or pictures. Right now, the compatible files for video are just MP4s, and music files are AAC and MP3s, and I should say that's non-DRM AAC files. And for picture files, it will play or show JPEGs and PNG files. We'll spin it over here, get a little closer again. Here you have the HDMI port. Next to that is the composite. Yes, the Roku does actually accept composite cables. They do have a proprietary composite cables because this is a very small space to get into. Here you have an Ethernet port. Now this is the main reason I got the XS model, is because only the XS model has Ethernet. All the other models, including the XS, have Wi-Fi, 802.11, ABG, and N, but this is the only model that allows you to have Ethernet. Now they also, with this particular model, say it's a gaming console, not console, it plays games. However, all the other models of Roku will also play the games. If you buy the separate remote, the special gaming remote that comes with this model, and put games onto your Roku. Next to that is the power port, and just above that there's a little tiny dot. That's your reset for the device, so you can factory reset it. And there's the purple tag if you didn't see it before, and the top of the XS with the very shiny fingerprint magnet high gloss finish. Alright, so we'll put the box down and go grab the remote that comes with the XS. As you can tell, this is the Roku gaming remote, which the front comes with a high gloss finish, which I don't particularly care for, and the purple lanyard so that you can, wrap it around your wrist while gaming. Realistically, for me, I found that the purple tag or purple string here isn't necessary because you don't have to, just like with the Wii, you don't have to move the remote all too much for it to be picked up and have the cursor move. What I found this is mainly for right now is a cat toy, because I find my remote kind of in miscellaneous parts of the house if I leave it where the cats can get to it. Again, so if you look here, if held in landscape mode, you have your D-pad and your AB buttons. Also, we'll do it in what would be known as TV mode, I'll call it. Here, since I'm doing this backwards, home button, back button, directional button, 30-second skip back, star, or the asterisk key. It has different functions in the Roku UI, which I'll show you in a little bit, and rewind, fast forward, play, pause. I should also mention that the Roku XS, since it came with the gaming remote also came with 2 AA batteries. I mean, they're not going to be your best batteries, but they are free and come with it. And this purple button here is to pair the remote with your particular Roku. So let's say you bought the gaming remote after the fact. Well, it's just a Bluetooth device, so the Roku also supports Bluetooth. You would just pop this open, push the button when it's plugged in to pair the new remote to your device. Close it up. Should mention the back there is a matte black finish rather than the shiny polish. Also, the remote's dimensions are 5 by 5 inches long and 1.5 inches wide with a depth of about 1 inch. Now, before I show you the actual user interface, the Roku itself is very easy to set up. In the box, it just comes with a power cable, proprietary composite cables, which look like that. The remote and the box itself, it does not come with an HDMI cable. You will have to purchase that separately. I'll throw a link in the area below so you can, purchase a HDMI cable for like $1.85. I mean, it's really ridiculously cheap. The other thing that you might not know about, which I found out a little bit before I bought the Roku, you do need a Roku account so that you can tie the box to you as a person. Now, when you create this account, you will also have to put in credit card information because there are items on the channel that cost money. Now, what's a channel? A channel is just you think of it as an app or just a means of watching particular content. Right now, the Roku store has about 300 plus channels of content. Not all of them are free. Some of them you do have to pay for, which is why when you create the Roku account, you will need to put in that credit card information. However, you can also set up the account so that it will require you to put in a PIN before a purchase goes through instead of just, which you'll see on the interface later, hit the button, select something, and it automatically purchases it for you because you realistically don't want to do that. I did also happen to skip the actual internals of the device. It was difficult finding the specifications for the inside of this. I looked on the Roku website and I couldn't find, a listing of the internal components here. So I managed to find it on the web. I'll put a link to where I found it down in the description, just to give credit where credit is due. So what you're looking at here is a set-top box that's running on about 512 megabytes of RAM and has internal storage of the same, 512 megabytes. So with the 512 megabytes of RAM, you will notice some sluggish behaviors when navigating through menus. I came from using PlayStation 3 to watch Netflix to this, and I could definitely tell a difference in speed when trying to switch between the pages. Also, I did forget to do this. Since it only has 512 megabytes of internal storage, there is a micro USB port there, which I did forget to cover when I went through the back. So that'll allow you to put more space onto the Roku here, so you can add more channels and more games. Now, I will say, if you do use the Roku for games, just keep in mind games will take up more space than a dedicated TV channel. So if you're going to be using the device for gaming, you may want to pick up a micro SD card to put in the back of it to expand your storage. Right before I go to the user interface, I guess I should say what setup was like. Setup in total for me was about 13 minutes, and that's including downloading a new version patch, firmware for the device. Pretty much you plug it in, it throws up a specific code just for the device itself. You go to your Roku account, you put in that number that they give you, and that ties the box to your account, and then you could start adding channels and what have you. Alright, so with that said, let's go to the user interface. Alright, generally when you first start Roku and get to the user interface, it'll put you on your first channel. In this case, the channel that's there is Pandora. So what you can do is, if we use the remote that comes with the Roku and scroll all the way to the left, you could see the Roku player settings, and I will just hit the OK button to go in there. So just a quick rundown. You have information about network display type. You can switch between 1080p and 720p or 480p as long as you're using an HDMI cable. If you're using the composite cable that came with it, you're going to be limited to 480i. You have audio modes, which you can do, surround sound. Sound effects volume is this little clicking and badoop sound that you're hearing. You can change the language. Gaming remote pairing is using that button I was talking about before, because you can buy the gaming remote separately and pair it to a different version of the Roku. Screensaver, we'll just go in here. It's just what it is. It's a screensaver. I have it set for 5 minutes. There are different types of screensavers. It helps to keep anything from being burned into your screen. The Roku itself actually uses very little power when streaming or even manipulating the menus like I am right now. It uses about 2 to 2.5 watts of power, which is the main reason I ended up going with the Roku, even though I had the PlayStation, which could play my Netflix. But when you played the Netflix, the PlayStation 3 used 70 watts of power. This pretty much 2 watts, that's it. Pardon me. Time zone and clock, third-party license, software update, and factory reset. Now, software update for this particular demonstration of the UI, I'm using software version 4.8 build 3520. And with that, you get Roku Search. This is a nifty feature that they added after the fact, after I got the Roku. What this will do is it will allow you to search Okay, good. So what it'll do is it'll allow you to search for a particular video or movie or what have you, but not just within a channel like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon On Demand. What this will do is this will let you search for this particular item throughout those channels. In this case, you can see it also has a history, and I was screwing around and looking for Evil Dead. So if we click on Evil Dead, what it shows us is that particular title is available on Amazon Prime, Amazon Videos on Demand, for free with Prime membership, or on Vudu for $2.99 in HD. So that beats having to go through each of these services and try and find that particular movie. Next is the Roku Spotlight. This item changes because it is a spotlight. Right now it's advertising Dish. Other times it will advertise Hulu Plus, just other things. As you might also notice, the bottom is displaying an advertisement for Hulu Plus college football. The Roku is slightly ad supported in order to help subsidize the cost. When you're on the Roku channel itself, the ad is just at the bottom. It's not very intrusive. You pretty much learn to ignore it. If you look at the top, they do seasonal borders. Normally the border at the top with the leaves is just purple, and in the right-hand corner you just have the time. So what we'll do is go back to the channels here. This is the channel store. If you access this, you have varying options of channels. Like I said, there's over 300 and counting. What you normally land on is the new channels interface. There is the features channel, and your channels are always at the top. You have most popular channels, which obviously are your main movie stuff, featured pay channels, games. With the games, I should mention that of the 49 games here, because you can tell up in the upper right it says 3 of 49 games, I went through each and every one of these games, and there are only 7 games that you do not pay for. One of them is Angry Birds, which comes with the XS model. 3 of them are light versions of other games that you pay for. One is a demo of another game that you can pay for. And 3 are real basic. Also, with the games on the Roku, you're pretty much looking at games that are similar to something that you would play on a smartphone. So don't think you're going to be getting like some PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 style gaming on here. It's just not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the main channel area. And here we have Pandora, so you can stream music over your Roku if you wanted to. I, however, am not going to do that, and pretty much left this channel just so I could show you that you can delete a channel once it gets added to your channel guide here. If you remember the remote that I showed you earlier, maybe I'll put a little thing up in the right hand corner. You hit the star button or the asterisk key, and what this will do is it'll allow you to change the position, change the channel description, remove or exit the channel guide. Here you can also see how many people have liked this particular channel. I don't want it, so what I'm going to do is hit OK, and what that'll do is give me this little warning, and I do want to remove this channel, and the channel goes away. I should mention that if you add a channel from the channel store, it pretty much automatically gets added as soon as you exit the channel store. If you add it from the website, it could take upwards of 24 hours to get added to your channel lineup, or if you go back to the Roku settings and do a firmware check, it will force an update to add those channels. For those of you who may be thinking about getting the Roku for a cord cutting option, getting rid of your cable subscription, which is kind of what I did. I did get rid of my cable subscription. I've been using the Roku to supplement the materials that I've lost. Here you can see you got your weather, you got your news, and you got your movies. So if we go into the channel here, you can see the channels and the options that you have. You can't really tell the sluggishness, but there is a little, because of that 512 megs of RAM, there is a press and a change, press and the change, press. So there's that half-second delay in between pushing the key and the actual change of the icon. So what we'll do here is I'll show you on Crackle as well. Alright, so press, press, press. See, you can also see these items haven't loaded up yet. And if I scroll over, you can kind of see there's a little lag there. It's not terrible. It does take a little getting used to, but that's perfectly fine. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scroll all the way to the left and show you this, the weather graphics, or it's a radar thing. This is actually a private channel that I added to Roku. What a private channel is, it's a channel that's not officially, I don't want to say sanctioned, but officially supported by Roku. It's a developer that creates a channel for Roku that you can add, and it puts it into your channel lineup. There are a bunch of private channels that you can do. How you do that is you would go to your Roku account, and under the My Accounts information there is an area for Add a Private Channel. I will put a link in the description for a couple of the lists of private channels that I found. And while I'm on that, my roommate tells me this particular channel, this Crunchyroll, it actually has a slight advantage to being on the Roku. Apparently you can get this over the PlayStation 3 as well. However, on the PlayStation 3 you have to pay for this particular channel. I forget what it is, but he says you pay for it on the PlayStation, but he put it on the Roku, and on the Roku it's free. You don't have to do anything with it. You put in the private channel information and you get it. Alright, so next I will show you this. This is the USB media player. This is one of the free options to view media on your external hard drive or your flash drive on your Roku. There are some paid ones, but I try and go for the free stuff. So we will start the Roku media player. And again, if you use those particular supported formats, you will see them show up here. You have music, movies, and photos. Here we have a movie. This is a review that I did for a kilowatt meter. I just threw it on the flash drives so you could see on the screen. If I go back, I have photos that I've also put on the flash drive of just random game that I used to play. I took some screenshots, but these are in the supported file format, and you can play them on the Roku. I don't have any music files on there, I'm sorry. There is a game, Angry Birds, that came with the XS. I didn't take it off fast enough, and my wife ended up starting to play it and kind of got addicted to it. I'll show you in a second the sensitivity of the remote. But what I want to do here is, okay, here are some other channels that I've added. But let's be honest, CNET's kind of been going downhill ever since CBS Interactive bought them. I've kind of moved over to the TWiT network. So again, we want to move this particular channel. So we hit the asterisk on the Roku remote, and we're going to change the position. Puts the dotted cutout around it, and we just shift it over to the left one space and hit OK. And now that has moved that channel in front of the other channel. And you can move that from left to right however you want. So we will go into Angry Birds here, and I'm going to turn down the volume on the TV set before I do that. Alright, so here we go, Angry Birds. Try and stay out of the shot, but get the remote in there so you can see the sensitivity. There's the little finger moving around. We'll go play. That's just all basically Bluetooth. Click. Alright, so those of you that are familiar with Angry Birds, click and hold, pull it back. Try and keep that in frame for you. Doesn't look like it wants to though. There we go. Keep that in frame that way. Let go. And that's pretty much the game. I mean, shows you what the Angry Birds is like, and that's pretty much it. I mean, in a nutshell, that's the Roku. That's the set-top streaming box. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the area below, and I will get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. This has been Wander001. Thanks for watching.